Joining us today is Robbert De Weijer, the Chief Executive Officer of Australia Dart Energy, who will be speaking at AAR's 10th Annual CSG Conference and Exhibition on the 17th and 18th of April 2012 in Brisbane. Welcome, Robbert, and thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Luke.
First question, how much scope is there for developing a CSG industry in New South Wales?
I think there's a lot of scope to develop a coal seam gas industry in New South Wales for a couple of reasons. First of all, there is a lot of coal seam gas that can be produced from New South Wales, and there's a strong need for that gas as well. When you look at projections over the next 20 years, gas demand is going to triple in New South Wales. At the moment, more than 90% of that gas is imported from other states. And there's an emerging gap in terms of supply versus demand. So coal seam gas is very well suited to fill that gap. And what it will also do is it will ease the pressure on increasing electricity and gas prices, and it will basically make the state self-sufficient from a gas production point of view.
All right. Would there be scope in the future then to link up with the export terminals that have been created in Queensland?
Potentially, yeah. Provided the infrastructure is there. My vision would be that in future all of the gas infrastructure in Eastern Australia is going to be connected somehow. So that would apply to Queensland, New South Wales, and that would include the Cooper Basin as well. So.
All right.
But our focus is very much on the domestic markets in New South Wales. There's a huge demand, and we're, on a very regular basis, we're getting phone calls from industries asking us to supply gas already. So there's definitely a strong need for it.
Excellent. And so, what would you underpin as a success for New South Wales CSG industry?
I think there are a few things there. Obviously, it's been a tough year last year. I think what's going to be important going forward is some clarity and certainty on regulations. The industry is already heavily regulated. A couple of weeks ago, the government of New South Wales made an announcement with a number of policies. And I think that clarity and more certainty for everybody involved is going to help. So I think that's one thing. The other thing I'd like to point out is that there's a clear, responsibility on the industry to really make people understand what coal seam gas is all about, and to take some of the misinformation away and replace it with good information. At the end of the day, it's an industry that can provide much cleaner energy compared to coal, and it will be done in a way that really protects the environment and the people in the areas.
Yeah, definitely what's needed going forward. Now, what would you see as the biggest hurdles that need to be overcome for New South Wales to have a successful CSG industry?
Yeah, it's almost, the answer would be quite similar to the previous question, I guess. I think, having effective regulation is going to be important going forward, and also, making sure that people understand why a coal seam gas industry is so important for New South Wales, and also for people to understand that coal seam gas can very well coexist with other land uses. Mm-hmm. We've got a great little project in the Newcastle area where we're going to provide gas to a glass house project. Oh. And the beauty there is that we, the CO2 that comes off the combined heat and power plant goes into the greenhouse. The water that we produce gets treated, gets used into the greenhouse, and we supply gas. So, and on top of it, 125 jobs. And I think it's a proof of concept that is really going to help for coal seam gas to get a much stronger support base.
Excellent. So looking towards working with the government and with the community.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, very much so. It's all about engage.
Excellent. And the final question, what CSG development is Dart Energy's proposing in New South Wales?
Yeah, so we're very much focused on the domestic market. So, as I mentioned earlier, there's a strong demand for gas in New South Wales, and We're very much focused on industries, or potentially integrating with the power plants and generating electricity. Our most mature area is in the Newcastle area. That's our PL 458. And the project that we've got going there is very much, as I said a bit earlier, providing gas to a greenhouse project. So that's we're very much in the exploration and appraisal phase. So we don't have any production just now. Our technology is largely based on horizontal well technology. So we see that as a very effective way to drain gas from the coal seams. And it also has a very small footprint, so it allows you to actually produce gas from a single location, but having a pretty large reach at the same time. So we've got a whole bunch of things on the go, but like we said earlier, community engagement, working together with the government is going to be very important going forward.
Mm. And just a question of interest, what's the sort of supply of machinery like in New South Wales once you do reach the development phase?
The drilling rigs. There are quite a few rigs around. Yeah. So it's just a matter of securing the rigs relatively early on so that you can actually execute your drilling program. In terms of, there's quite a big coal seam gas industry in Queensland that we can tap into. Yeah. So there's quite a bit of, quite a few service companies are in place already to support what we're doing. Also, we're not alone in New South Wales. Companies like Santos and AGL, they're being pretty active on the coal seam gas side as well. So that's not a huge issue for us.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you again for your time there, Robert, and we look forward to your presentation at the summit.
Great. Look forward to it as well. Thanks, Luke.